Hey, it's Ethan here at etrailer. Right now we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install the Pewag square link snow tire chains with cam tensioners on our 2021 Ford F-150. These are going to be on tire size 275/65 R18. Make sure you check the fit guide at etrailer.com to get the right chains for your tires. Also, we have them on the rear axle as per the owner's manual. Always a good idea to double check that as well to make sure you're putting the chains on the right axle for your car. So these chains are going to be a solid value option for you if you want to get a little bit more traction in snow and ice conditions. These cams are going to help you get that initial fit, and they're going to be really durable as well. So let's take a closer look. The chains have a ladder pattern design, which means they go straight across the tire, parallel to one another. It's going to be really helpful for starting and stopping, and you're definitely going to feel these a lot more than you would a traditional ladder or a diamond pattern style chain or some twist links. But because of that, you get more bite into ice and snow. As with these grooves on our large square links here, both of those are going to be designed to get you more traction in ice, snowy conditions as well. And the links are going to be made of a manganese nickel alloy, which is going to be really nice for rust and corrosion resistance. So they're going to last a few more seasons at least than your typical low carbon steel chains. The chains do come two to a set. It's pretty lightweight, sort of nylon plasticky material. It's not the greatest thing in the world. It definitely wears out pretty quickly, so it's fine to get them for the first time, but if you get these chains, you're going to want to get something larger, more robust to keep them in. That way you could also keep them lubricated or oiled in the off season to keep them in good shape for years to come. Also, because we do have these cams, we do get a nice initial fit, but we want to pick up something like a rubber tensioner to keep that fit secure while you're driving. So we'll talk about both of those processes a little bit more in the install portion, which on the subject of install, the whole process isn't too difficult. You will have to get down and around on the backside to make a connection or roll onto the chains if you choose to do it that way. Either way, it doesn't take too long. Just make sure you practice or figure it out before you find yourself stranded on the side of the road working on it. But if you need a little bit of help, we'll walk you through that process now. First thing we want to do is lay the chains out flat. We just want to center them up in front of the tire and make sure that nothing is caught up together or twisted. In this case, we want to make sure that the cams are on the side facing us and that they're not already turned. For example, the center one, if it looks like this, is already turned, which will throw off the fit of your chains. So make sure those are correct, and we want to make sure the chains are facing the right way. To do that, we're going to use this hoop at the end of each set of links. So we want to make sure that we have the flat side making contact with the tread of the tire, or face down in this case. We just don't want these hooks making any sort of contact with the tread and rubbing them up. So as long as we have them as we do right now, we're good to go. Now all we have to do is grab a couple of these where they intersect in the back, and we'll drape the chains over the tire, doing our best to keep everything even front to back and side to side, which will just make our life a little bit easier once we go to make our first connection on the back side, which we can go ahead and do now. For that connection, all we need to do is fit one of these loose links on this side into this hook. In our case, I think I'm going to go for the second one just based on how the first one fit. So let's put that in that hook, and we can come back and adjust that if we need to based on the connections on the front. Same process, just fit one of these loose links into the hook. I'm going to go for the first link in this case, so we should have some tension to tighten up, which we're going to do with the provided tool. We'll just fit this into the cams that go around the side, and we're going to turn counterclockwise. Start with that one. Come up here to the top one, same thing. And we should be able to get this third one turned as well. Just like that. And now you can see we have a much more snug fit on the tire. After we get those cams tightened down, our initial fit should be much better. But if you want to continue that fit while you're driving, I would recommend picking up one of these rubber tensioners. Just going to install them hook side out. You can put them in the cams if you want to. I don't find that that's the best idea in my experience, but we'll put it on top to bottom, left to right, and this should hopefully provide a little bit more stability and security as we drive and the chains start to shift while we're bumping along. So definitely a good idea to pick one of these up. Once you have that rubber tensioner in place, make sure you repeat this process for your passenger side tire as well. Roll forward or backwards a few times just to make sure that everything stays in place and that it's secure, and then you're ready to hit the road. Overall, as far as aggressiveness goes in chains, these are going to be kind of an in-between. So if you want to get something more aggressive for maybe some off-road purposes, you could check out something with V-bars or studs at the end that's going to bite into that. Or if you want to get a similar amount of traction but you don't want quite as high a profile, you check out some twist link chains as an option. In either case though, they're going to fit your needs. These are going to be again for those situations where you get a decent amount of moderate snow or ice and you don't mind a little bit of a higher profile. That being said, this right here was just a quick look at the Pewag square link snow tire chains with our cam tensioners, and you saw how they fit on our 2021 Ford F-150.